Hello everyone and welcome back to Entertainment on Point. I'm your host Hannah Buzza.
And I'm your host, Miss Alexis. From celebrity stalkers to new shows on Netflix and an update on what Jennifer Aniston has been up to. We have quite the show for you, but first let's kick it off with this week's top stories.
Harry Styles and his security consultant's trial has begun after a stalker sends over 100 threatening messages to the pair. Diana Tara Zaga Oriro, 29, has been leaving Styles and Michelle Roycroft, Harry's security consultant, in constant fear since February of this year when she broke into Styles' London home while he was still there. Last week, Roycroft told a court that Diana left a message claiming she would arrive at Roycroft's office and, quote, kill her, the Sun reports. Roycroft told the court that it was terrifying. Diana, the stalker, was said to have continued sending these messages to Harry and his security team even on the day she broke into Harry's home. Diana claimed that Roycroft was an obstacle that separated her and Harry. In an earlier hearing in September, Styles was, quote, constantly on his guard and was afraid of his lingering stalker. This all began back at a bus stop in 2019 when Harry and Diana first crossed paths. Diana appeared repeatedly outside of Harry's home and while he was jogging, stopped him and demanded money from him. Harry, thinking Diana was homeless, helped her. That began an obsession and several years of fear for Styles and Roycroft. Roycroft, 52, is a former Met officer and was hired by Harry specifically to protect him from Diana. Earlier this year, Harry's North London home was broken into by Diana, who was mistaken as a delivery carrier while Harry was upstairs. She began fighting a construction worker who crossed paths with her and was removed after having to be pried from a wall. The Wood Green Crown Court began back in June, and since both Harry and Roycroft have spoken in front of the court. The Sun reports that Diana has been detained under a mental health order and agreed to a stalking order under Highbury Corner Magistrates Court in North London. Under the order, she may not approach, follow, wait, contact Roycroft directly or indirectly, attend any addresses where she believes Roycroft to be present, or encourage anyone she knows to do the same. While Roycroft is protected, Styles is still not, and the trial is ongoing. Diana is currently transitioning from male to female and may have picked the name Diana after the famous One Direction song, Diana. Harry was a part of One Direction from 2010 to 2016 before the band took a hiatus and broke off to do solo careers. This is a very scary situation for both Harry and Michelle, and we are hoping that they get the justice they deserve and that Diana gets the help she needs. So what do you think about that? A full-fledged stalker sending all of these crazy notes, breaking into Harry's home. What would you do if that was you?
I would be scared. You don't want to know what I would do, but that's scary. Like, that's what, like, celebrities, feel like people think that they're gods, but they're just human beings too. Like, his personal space is being invaded, so like I feel for Harry. He's probably scared, like he has to look over his shoulder constantly to make sure that the girl isn't stalking him. But like you said, I pray she gets the help that she needs too, because that is a serious matter. Like getting pushed on the wall, and you're beating up a construction worker.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
The thing that was like the most disturbing to me was like when she wrote in one of the letters that Roycroft was an obstacle between her and Harry. Like, that's crazy, but hopefully she gets the help she needs. I'm thinking about Harry. Of course, Roycroft now has like that protection, but yeah. Harry still doesn't. Luckily, he's like been on a 5-year tour right now, so I don't think he's been home in a while, but it's just so scary, and I hope everyone in the situation finds peace.
Body Yaddy Yaddy is not the only thing Meghan Thee Stallion is serving. She is the first Black woman to grace this year's cover for Forbes 30 Under 30 issue. She brought in $13 million in 2022 through royalties, ticket sales, merch, and endorsements with Nike, Revlon, and Popeyes. Meghan said she is not stopping till she is dead. Being on the cover was a very proud moment for her because of how hard it is to be the first for something in 2022. In her interview with Forbes, she said, quote, "I want to be bigger than just my music. I want people to know Meghan as everything that she ever wanted to be." Meghan, the artist. I feel like I always like to dabble and dab in a lot of different things, and I feel like I got that from my mom and dad. My dad was a street guy. He was an entrepreneur. He had his own clothing line. My mother. I watched her go to work 9 to 5 every day and come home and write songs and take me to the studio and be a mom and be just a good woman in general, end quote. In addition to this year, she dropped her second studio album called Traumazine, where she speaks on the grief she feels over her mother's death. She said, quote, "It made me feel happy that the time I did decide to be vulnerable and talk about something I was going through, it was one of the favorites from all of my fans. And I really appreciate it. And they made me feel comfortable. Like it's okay to not be okay, and it's okay to tell y'all I'm not okay," end quote. That inspired the rapper to launch a website called Bad Bees Have Bad Days Too. There are t-shirts for sale on the site, and it also provides resources for fans to have links to free therapy organizations, suicide and substance abuse lines, and much more. EO peeps, there you have it. Black girl magic at its finest. How do you feel like Meghan is like after every situation that happened with her, from the shooting and her performing, now she graced the cover of 30 Under 30, like $13 million? Like, Meghan definitely made an impact. How do you feel about Meghan?
Yeah, I do think she deserved it. I really love her music, and she has been through so much, especially in the past couple of years. I think that this was the perfect honor for her to get. I think she deserves it, and I think she looked beautiful too.
I know. Like I said, black girl magic at its finest.
Kim Kardashian and Balenciaga are at outs after Balenciaga's holiday campaign photos caused major uproar. Balenciaga, a luxury fashion brand, has been partnered with Kim since October of last year and was announced as the official face of the brand. Since this partnership, Kim has been spotted at almost every event wearing a head-to-toe Balenciaga velvet jumpsuit. It wasn't until recently that Kim began wearing ball gowns from other brands again. Just recently, Balenciaga released their holiday campaign photos, all of which featured children holding purses of teddy bears while wearing harnesses and gear. Critics claim that the outfits were sexualizing the children and were aiding child predators. Since, Balenciaga has pulled the photos and issued an apology, saying, quote, "Our plush bear bag should not have been featured with children in this campaign." Later, they issued a second statement apologizing for, quote, "displaying unsettling documents and, quote, strongly condemns the abuse of children in any form," end quote. Balenciaga then sued production company North Six and set designer Nicolas Desjardins, seeking $25 million in damages for their, quote, "extraordinarily reckless actions and for being malevolent." Additionally, Balenciaga is upset that now their brand is being compared to the Supreme Court case United States versus Williams, which dealt with child pornography and a different ad campaign for purses back in 2008. Kim Kardashian, who has 4 young children of her own, issued a statement on Sunday saying she was, quote, "shaken by these disturbing images," and that after talking with Balenciaga, she believes, quote, "they understand the seriousness of this issue and will take the necessary measures for this to never happen again," end quote. She also added where she stands with the brand as of now, saying, quote, "the safety of children must be held with the highest regard, and any attempts to normalize child abuse of any kind should have no place in our society, period. As for my future with Balenciaga, I am currently reevaluating my relationship with the brand, basing it off my willingness to accept accountability for something that should have never happened to begin with, and the actions I'm expecting to see them take to protect children," end quote. We will have to wait and see how the lawsuit plays out and if Kim cuts ties with Balenciaga. So what do you think about this? I mentioned how Kim is constantly in Balenciaga, those velvet jumpsuits, and now she's saying she might not ever work with them again over this. I do think what happened was absurd. Did you get a chance to look at the pictures?
Yeah, it was crazy. I couldn't believe it, but I definitely commend Kim. Like, she knows she's a high public figure, so for her showing like what's the word, like her admitting to like what they did and she feels sorry, like I definitely commend her even more. Like, it shows that she cares about people and that she's a human being as well. Like, she understands the children's situation. But I don't know. Do you think she will cut ties with Balenciaga like fully, like, or do you think it's just
I don't know. I kind of hope she does. Like, I feel like this is a really like crazy thing to go wrong on, like putting children in outfits like that and then like thinking like it's okay. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, how many people had to have agreed and signed off on that even passed to get shot and then put out? Like, it seems like a lot of people failed there. But
Even the photographer taking the pictures.
yeah, and I hate to say it, but I almost feel like it's kind of just like a performance thing. Like, she's saying she's reevaluating her relationship and that she does hold them accountable and that she takes accountability herself. But I don't know if I could see her just like fully never working with the brand again. I also think it's kind of crazy. I feel like Kim took more accountability than the brand did.
Yeah.
I mean, they did apologize, but then they also are suing the set designer for like $25 million. So we'll have to see what happens.
Netflix broke a new record with its new series show called Wednesday. It was released on November 23rd and is a spin-off of The Addams Family. During the first week it was released, it had a total of 341.2 million views, which is a new record for Netflix. The show is directed and executive produced by Tim Burton, and the cast includes stars like Jenna Ortega, Louis Guzman, Emma Myers, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Jimmy McShane, and more. With Miss Jenna Ortega being the lead character as Wednesday Addams, the show is following her journey as a student at Nevermore Academy. She attempts to master her emerging psychic ability, prevent a killing spree, and solve a murder mystery that involved her parents 25 years ago. Fans have been going crazy over the show and have been asking when is season 2 coming already. However, fans have been obsessing on how Ortega does not blink at all during the show. Ortega said in an interview on the Today Show, quote, "Tim likes it when I tilt my chin down and look through my eyebrows, kind of like a Kubrick stare, and then I relax all the muscles in my face," end quote. Ortega plays Wednesday well and enjoys having blood on her face and screaming all day on set. Wednesday is in the top 10 in all 93 countries that Netflix is associated with and is currently sitting at number 1 in 83 of those countries. They share this record with the show Stranger Things. Be sure to check the show Wednesday out on Netflix, EO Peeps. Like that, I feel like I haven't watched it yet, but I feel like it's very cool, like hearing what everyone's saying and like how she does the stare. Like she literally like is like this and like she doesn't blink. Can you imagine yourself not blinking? Should we have a staring contest for like?
Should we?
Yeah, like just don't blink. Ready? Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. I'm sorry.
I won.
You won. But have you seen the show?
I have seen it. I'm actually only a couple episodes in, but it is really good. And it is impressive that she hasn't blinked. I've been like looking out for it in the show because now I know about it. And it is really interesting. I watched like a clip of her saying that it's like if you tell yourself you're blinking in your mind, it like helps you not have to blink. And so now I've been watching and like I find myself like just randomly like staring down the camera, like not blinking, like I'm telling myself I'm blinking in my head and I'm fine. Like, so I don't know, it is a really good show so far. I think it's really interesting and it did get renewed for a season 2. I saw that, so there's more to come.
And it's being directed by Tim Burton. Like he's done a lot of great work, so I definitely know that this one is very special to him too.
Yes. We're going to go for a quick break, but when we come back, our reporter, Cade Montgomery, will give us an update on how Iggy Azalea is doing after her surgery.
Welcome back, Yo Peeps. First up, we have our reporter, Cade Montgomery, here to give us an update on how I'm So Fancy Iggy Azalea is doing after getting surgery on her back.
Thanks, Miss Alexis. I walk a mile in these Louboutins, but apparently not everyone else is. Australian rapper Iggy Azalea, 32, who is best known for her 2014 hit song Fancy featuring Charli XCX, is currently recovering after having a recent surgery. She revealed on her Twitter that she had a surgery on her back to fix some issues that she had after touring for 2 summers in a row on an injury. She continued on to say that she had complications with her recovery and that she, quote, ended up in a bed hooked up to 1 million machines and in so much pain there are actually about 3 days I actually can't remember at all, end quote. Azalea said that she was unable to walk for 3 weeks after the operation. She revealed that she was upset due to the fact that she was supposed to travel to Australia and film a movie, but was unable to go due to these complications. She also announced on Twitter that she is doing better and is in recovery from these post-surgery complications, writing, quote, "A week ago I was cleared to get up and start moving again. I've been seeing someone daily at the house and we do low workouts. They are so sad, y'all, lol. I've been getting back strong. I will recover 100%. My goal is to be in good health by Christmas," end quote. She continued on to say that this change in health has been extremely challenging, both physically and mentally, and the hardest part was how she did not have any answers for a while. She said that this whole experience was a wake-up call, adding, quote, "I think I'm seriously going to get into my fitness after this. I value my body in a whole new way after this experience," end quote. When asked about the movie that she mentioned in her tweets, Azalea said that she would not reveal any information about the movie. She was also asked about her son, to which she replied, quote, "He's great. We play a lot of Lego in bed and watched a lot of movies. He's really happy now that I'm up and moving," end quote. Hopefully, she'll be fully recovered by Christmas as planned and will be able to continue performing and spending time with her son.
Thanks, Cade. Next up, we have Kalyan Winder here catching us up on all things RuPaul's Drag Race. Kalyan?
Thanks, Hannah. The Drag Race community is ecstatic as 2 fan favorites from RuPaul's Drag Race make history. Season 2 contestant Shangela competed on this year's rendition of Dancing with the Stars, along with his dance partner Gleb Shevchenko. He has since been cast as the first drag queen in male-on-male partnership in Dancing with the Stars history. The pair made it all the way to the finale, placing 4th, the first place winners being duo Charli D'Amelio and Mark Ballas. While Charli won the season, many fans have come out against the decision, saying that Shangela or fellow contestant Wayne Brady should have won. Many speculate that judges were harsher to Shangela and Wayne than other contestants due to their otherness, all while praising Charli and competitor Gabby Windey for being conventionally attractive for media. Because of this, the fans have been praising both Wayne and Shangela for being a great representation of Black excellence and unrestricted gay representation. In an interview with Out, he commemorates, saying, quote, "I feel a sense of responsibility when an opportunity is presented to me to be vocal about positive and authentic representation. Dancing with the Stars allowed me to be me. I'm hoping that my existence, my visibility on Dancing with the Stars will help to show that we aren't that different," end quote. He wasn't the only history maker this year, as 2-time RuPaul's Drag Race winner Jinx Monsoon will join the cast of Tony Award-winning Revival of Chicago. They'll be playing the character Matrone Mama Morton, the first drag queen to play that role in Broadway. They, quote, "cannot stress enough that this has been a lifelong dream of mine, to be making my Broadway debut as my favorite role in one of my favorite shows. That lifelong dream is coming true and then some," end quote. They're currently on tour with fellow drag queen Bendela Creme in their theatrical show, The Jinx and Dela Holiday Special, and will begin her role on January 6th to March 12th at the New York City's Ambassador Theater.
Thanks, Kalyan. Don't go anywhere because when we come back, we have more reporters with all your entertainment news.
Hey.
Good evening and welcome to Newsnight. My name is Craig Ferkowski.
Tonight, we'll cover all your international, national, and local news.
Australia is one of the most biodiverse countries on the planet.
Over 8,000 items are to be auctioned off at Pittsburgh International Airport on October 22nd. Last Thursday, the House committee investigating the January 6th attack chose to subpoena former President Donald Trump.
All this and more
Coming up on
Newsnight.
Welcome back. Next up, we have our reporter Natalia Hillen here to tell us about the first trailer that was released about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's documentary.
Thanks, Miss Alexis. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's new documentary is just days away from being released on the popular streaming site Netflix. Footage from the documentary was just released this past Thursday and shows the couple that is ready to tell their side of the story with the rift with the royal family. The first trailer consists of photos and a brief interview of the two and starts with pictures of Prince Harry and Meghan happy and thriving. And towards the end, a mix of footage and old childhood pictures was shown as well. According to ABC News, Harry stated in the documentary that, quote, "No one sees what's happening behind closed doors. I had to do everything I could to protect my family," end quote. As the trailer ended, Meghan stated, quote, "When the stakes are this high, does it make it more sense to hear the story from us?" End quote. As the couple already addressed some of the issues in an interview with Oprah Winfrey in 2021, this documentary has allowed them to dive deeper into all the specifics. Make sure to tune in to the first part of the 6-part series on Netflix next Thursday, December 8th. Back to Hannah at the desk.
Thanks, Natalia. Next up, we have our girl, Jordan Yanniga, here to tell us about what Jennifer Aniston has been up to.
Thank you, Hannah. This past month, Allure magazine released an article interviewing Jennifer Aniston and her life in the spotlight. Aniston, mostly known as her role as Rachel in the iconic 90s series Friends, says she has nothing left to hide to the world. Most of the article was an update on how the actress's life is now at the age of 53. In 2021, Aniston launched her hair care line called Lola Vey with the mission of creating a product that is good for the environment without all the chemicals. Aniston touched on her relationship with social media, saying, "I hate it." About 3 years ago, she created her Instagram because she felt as though she had to. Where in the article she said, quote, "It's torture for me. The reason I went on Instagram was to launch my hair care line. I'm really happy I got the experience growing up being a teenager without the social media aspect. It goes back to how young girls feel about themselves, compare and despair," end quote. In the article, Aniston also goes further to say how she is in the best part of her life, better than her 20s and 30s. A common question for Aniston in the media has always been, what about having kids? Aniston now came out in this article talking about how she tried to get pregnant in her late 30s and did not succeed. She stated, quote, "All the years and years of speculation was hard. I was going through IVF and drinking Chinese teas, you name it. I would have given anything if someone had said to me, freeze your eggs. So here I am today and the ship has sailed," end quote. The Allure reporter continued to ask Aniston questions such as, what now is she looking forward to in her life? She responded with, quote, "I'm a very independent person. I've realized you will always be working on stuff. I'm a constant work in progress, thank God. How uninteresting would life be if we all achieved enlightenment and that was it," end quote. The Allure interview wrapped up with one question. If you were writing the story of your life, what would this chapter be called? Aniston replied, Phoenix Rising. I'm sure most Friends fanatics are excited to hear Jennifer Aniston open up on so many topics. I know I am. Thank you. Back to you, Alexis.
Thanks, Jordan. Don't go anywhere because when we come back, our lovely host, Hannah Buzza, will be asking the EOP cast for advice. You don't want to miss this.
Regular physical activity is one of the most important things you can do for your health. The benefits of physical activity include brain health, weight management, reducing disease, strengthening your bones and muscles, and improving your ability to do everyday activities. So, it's time to get up and be active.
Welcome back, EO Peeps. I'm your host, Hannah Buzza, and today I'm joined by our lovely EOP cast, Natalia, Miss Alexis, Jordan, and Tiana, for this week's free segment. We will be doing something a little different from what we usually do, and today we will be coming together to give our best advice to those who need it. I spoke to 5 different girls who needed some anonymous advice for various situations. We are going to break down their questions and hopefully give them the answers they need. Are you guys ready to play?
Of course.
Yay! Our first submitter wants some relationship advice. She asks, my boyfriend likes other girls' pictures on social media. These photos can sometimes be bikini pictures with full faces of makeup and risque posing. Is this something that I have the right to be upset about? So Tiana, let's start with you. How would you feel if this was your boyfriend doing this?
Honestly, I would be really upset because I feel like I would be jealous, but I would definitely probably have to talk to him about it because I would not feel comfortable with that.
Yeah, definitely. What about you, Jordan?
I mean, if it's the only pictures on Instagram that he's liking, I would probably talk to him about it, but if it's just in the mix of his likes, I don't know, I wouldn't be too upset. I mean, oh well, I don't know. That's kind of my take.
Yeah, and then what about you, Miss Alexis?
You can either go 2 ways about this. The one way, you could, like, he's grown, he could do what he wants, like, he has to live his life too. I feel like if you know you're the baddest female he ever been with, you shouldn't have a problem with him liking pictures, but then you have the other side where he could be doing this and like talking to other females, so you really don't know. I feel like it's all about communication and trust, so you have to talk to him and see how he feels about you liking male pictures who don't have shirts on and got that 8-pack abs set, but hey, that's what I was saying.
And then Natalia?
I would say if it's a very continuous thing of people that, you know, you all know together and it's people that you like go to school with, then yes, you have the 100% right to be upset about that. If it's like a celebrity, I would not be upset. So if it just depends on really like who it is. If it's someone that he talked to before, then yeah. If it's some random girl you've never even met and you don't know, then I would say no, don't worry about it.
Yeah, I totally agree with you guys. It definitely is circumstantial, and communication, I think, is key in a situation like that. So next we'll move on to our next submitter who needs some friendship advice. She says, I've been at outs with my best friend for what feels like a couple of weeks now. I began realizing I was the only person putting energy into our friendship and decided to finally say something to her about it. I'm always the one initiating plans, texting first, and reaching out when I need emotional support. When I told this to her, she was receptive to what I said, but told me that that's just how she is. I'm not really sure what to do as I don't want to lose her as a friend, but if she won't put in any effort or attempt to be a better friend to me, then I may have to. What do you think I should do? So Natalia, we'll begin with you. What would you do in a situation like that?
If I was the person, I would definitely talk. Well, I know like you already talked to the person talked to the friend. If sometimes you just can't change someone no matter how much you want to,
and everyone thinks different and everyone has their own way of doing things. So unfortunately, it might just be a situation that like might just have to be let go, and if you still want to be the person's friend, then you are. If not, but yeah.
Okay, then what about you, Miss Alexis?
I would say, baby girl, you gotta be by yourself. If she's not giving you the same energy she was giving you when y'all first were friends, and all of a sudden now she can't text you first, she can't make plans, you definitely could see the different energy. Like 2023 about to come up, we going for positive energy, good energy, because it's gonna reflect on you too. So if you feel like she's not giving the emotional support that you need, then you guys have to come together like at a spot where you equally decide, okay, we're just gonna be friends. You do your thing, I do my thing, or we're gonna be best friends on how we were in the beginning.
Yeah, Jordan?
Kind of what they both said. You definitely have to have respect for yourself. She already spoke to her friend, and her friend gave her answer, but sometimes people just grow apart and grow at different times. So I think you just have to have a level of respect for yourself and understanding this may have been my best friend at one point, but it doesn't have to be forever type thing. So
yeah, that's really great. And then what about you, Tiana?
I agree with all of them. I would probably say, probably move on. Things happen for a reason, so I would just probably love that person like from a distance. But if they're not giving me the same energy back, then just move on.
Yeah, it definitely is a slippery slope, so I think it is important that you know that it's your decision. Okay, so our third submitter is looking for some fashion advice from our EOP girls. She says, when I go out for a night out, is it okay to wear sweats as opposed to cuter, shorter clothes? I feel more comfortable in sweatshirts and sweatpants as opposed to tight, short, cute clothes. So what do we think, EOP girls? Do we think it's okay to not dress up on a night out?
can I answer first?
Yeah,
1,000%. 1,000%. You do not need, just because you're going out does not mean that you have to be dressed head to toe.
No.
Be comfortable.
I need everybody to who's stepping in the room like it's me.
Yeah.
You could be dressed head to toe, but I say like you have the most fun when you're the most comfortable. So I would say just, you know, if you're not feeling it for a night and you want to sweatpants it up, then go ahead.
Okay, but if you're gonna wear sweatpants it up, then you might as well stay at home because it's a night out. You're supposed to, like, you know, show off your personality. But I feel like you can make it cute. You, like, people do streetwear now. Like, that's what they're wearing when they go out. But if you're just doing sweatpants, stay home. Yeah. That's my advice.
You agree?
I agree with Alexis. I would tell my friend, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to stay home. But I do agree with Jordan, like, if you're not feeling it, then we could just stay home. All of us could stay home. But yeah, we definitely have to dress up.
Wear sweatpants together.
What's your opinion?
If you're going out to a party, if you're going to a bar, I would not wear sweatpants. Personally, I would find an alternative, maybe some leather pants and something that's comfortable but not sweatpants. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So find that like in-between outfit that's cute but comfortable.
Yeah, I think that's a really great option. You need to find something that's like in the middle that can make you happy and feel comfortable, but also like you do look cute and stylish. Because when I think about going out, I do think about like dressing up and looking good, especially when I am with my friends. So I think you need to find a happy medium to that.
I'm surrounded by baddies, all 10s. All 10s when we step out.
Our next girl needs help with makeup tips. She says, I never had an older sister growing up, and it feels like I was a late bloomer when it comes to learning how to do girly things. I just recently began getting into makeup and was looking for some tips. What is your favorite makeup product, and do you have any makeup tips that I could use? So we'll start off with Natalia.
So I would honestly go on YouTube. I learned how to do all of my makeup from YouTube when I was like in middle school and high school. And it's just a great way to like learn about different products, what fits like other YouTubers, and then you can kind of go try it out. If you go into Sephora, you can do a test and see what works. But I would say my favorite product is, that's a good one. Probably like the Laura Mercier like translucent powder. I really like that because it's good for on camera stuff and for pictures. So I would say that's my favorite product.
What's your advice, Miss Alexis?
I would say some lashes and some lip gloss is the best makeup ever. Because I'm not into the makeup scene, but I feel like, you know, that's how, like, everyone's who they are and how they like it. But I'm definitely a lashes and lip gloss girl. Like, you know, it's all about the face, naturalness.
I'm going to have to go with Alexis. I'm very big on eyelashes, but again, Also what Natalia said, even YouTube, TikTok now has so many different people do, whether it's drugstore, whether it's name brand, but I would definitely say I'm just big on eyelashes, so any kind of mascara, really.
And then Tiana?
I would say I'm really big on highlighter. Like, I love feeling like I'm glowing. But my favorite product would probably be Fenty. That's like one of my big favorite products. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that was all really great advice. My personal favorite is the Benefit Hoola Bronzer. I love, love, love using that. So that's my favorite makeup. To wrap up our free segment, the final submitter wants help deciphering her feelings. She says, I've started talking to a guy I met somewhat recently. I'm cool with just being friends, but it seems like he wants something more. When I talk to my friends about it, they all encourage me to go out with him as I haven't been on a date in a long time. However, I don't think I'm into him like that. Should I still go along for the ride to get myself out there again and see what happens, or just let it be? And if I'm letting it be, what's a polite way to tell him I'm not interested? Thanks, CO Peeps. So Tiana, we'll start off with you.
If I'm not interested in somebody, I just usually just, tell them, like, I don't know, I just be like, I'm just trying to focus on myself,
The classic.
Yeah, that's just
doing me.
Yeah, I'm just doing me. Like,
it's not you, it's me.
Yeah, I just really just tell them I'm focusing on myself. I'm just doing me. But yeah, I would, though, like, try the date out. If I don't like him, then I would just let him know.
Yeah. And then Jordan?
I would agree. Try the date out, but again, do whatever you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
You don't have to put yourself out there by going on the date. Like, it'll come. Like, those kind of things are supposed to come naturally. If your friends are pressuring you or you feel like you need to be going on dates, like, you got your whole life. You'll be fine. Just natural when it comes natural to you. So that's what I'd say.
I think that's really great advice, Miss Alexis.
I'm gonna have to agree with the ladies. I definitely feel like you're in control. Like, you decide whether you want to go out with him, but like you said, if you're not comfortable, definitely take it slow. Like, let it come naturally to you. And it won't hurt to try the date out and see maybe you do change your mind. But if, like, always follow your gut. If your gut's telling you, like, about this boy or girl, then just take it slow or just clearly say, you're not my type.
Yeah. And then Natalia, send us home. Give your best advice.
So I agree with what everyone said in this situation. If that was me, if you're already hanging out a little bit, you kind of already see, I don't really like them or I do like them. I feel like it kind of seems like it's at that point, and she already can kind of feel she's not really into him. So if I was her, I really probably wouldn't go on the date at that point because you don't want to lead him on and hurt his feelings, he or she. So personally, I would just say, it's fun hanging out with you, but I just really don't see this going anywhere, or I'm just focusing on myself once again, because it's true, you are focusing on yourself.
Yeah.
You're putting yourself first and your needs and what you really want.
Yeah, absolutely. It never hurts to try, but I do think it's best to put yourself first in those situations and think about what's going to make you comfortable. That's a wrap on this week's episode. On behalf of all of us girls, we hope we were able to give you the answers that you were looking for. Thanks for watching, and be sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Entertainment on Point, and we will see you next week.